born before the wind, also younger than the sun. Yeah, the bonnie boat was one as we sail into the mystic.
Welcome to Three, the most innovative metaphysical program ever created. Join Kris, Rainey, and Mona as these amazing intuitives provide you with a three-dimensional divination into your most important questions. Now, from Las Vegas, the entertainment capital of the world, enjoy Three with our hostess, Mona Van Joseph.
Welcome again to yet another fabulous episode of Three.Vegas. So, I was watching the opening of the broadcast. I don't know why we had that. Oh, it's Spirit saying hello. Yes.
It is.
Okay. So one of the things that I was flashing on when I was looking at the opening of our program, and the End of the Mystic song is a song that not only is sort of coincidental between Rainey and me, but it is when I did my first radio program on the audio airwaves here in Las Vegas. My husband actually suggested, why don't you use Into the Mystic as your opening? So we used Into the Mystic. And then I found out later when I was collaborating with these two lovely ladies that Rainey likes the song Into the Mystic, and she uses that when she's got her clients on hold waiting for her. So it was just a kind of an amazing little coincidence. But it made me think of Las Vegas, and it made me think of all the lights in Las Vegas. And it made me think about there are a lot of readers that can't actually read here because of the amount of artificial light that we beam out to the universe. But personally, I think that Las Vegas is the biggest spiritual final exam city that anyone can find themselves in, because every temptation is here. There, you can do anything here. You can smoke marijuana here. You can go to a strip club here. There's other things you can do here. All of these things are available to you. And it's your decision of, well, what line do I want to walk? Or what karmic transgression do I need to dive into in order to evolve myself to another level? So sometimes when I hear people are in a difficult situation, first of all, I honor their spirit by, obviously your spirit's ready for it, or you wouldn't be presented with it. But I look at the people that have lived in Las Vegas and have managed to thrive here, that they call Las Vegas home, and that they still manage to build a community, to donate to charity, to do their nonprofit, to be with their friends, to be collaborative in the community. So I was just thinking about that Las Vegas is probably the biggest spiritual final exam anyone can find themselves. And here we are, your instructors, your guides for your spiritual final exam.
Another nugget. And that thing that they use to market, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. Yeah. Well, I'm telling you, it will follow you wherever you go.
Especially on social media,
oh,
right?
Yes.
It's like, thank goodness social media wasn't around way back when I was in my 20s. I might have been a little reckless back then.
We have a lot of portals here. We have...
I thought you were going to say porn.
Well, that too. Inside studios, I'm sure just like this. But I used to work for a large casino corporation, and I redid the whole entire Tower of Bally's.
Right.
And it was the one that caught on fire.
Oh, when it was MGM. Yeah.
Yes. And I would always be there at 4 a.m. well before everybody else, because you're in construction and I was in construction. Right. And I would walk the halls and I would get little hello, or hear people running, or hear a scream.
Oh, I just got
or
goosebumps.
Smell a cigarette go by. And I look and I'm like, I know nobody's on this floor. So I'm like, please just leave me alone. So don't forget to tell them if they're bothering you, hey guys, calm it down. I'm trying to work.
Yeah. Visit me between 9 and 3.
Exactly. Set boundaries. But you're right. Vegas is I raised my family here. And, there's a community outside of that.
Right. And Kris used to come here for sales and training with her company for a good solid year, about 10 years ago. And we were discussing that she know that her Master Astrology would then end up being on this amazing and very popular now vodcast of Three.Vegas.
Yes. So I have to say she's back.
She's back. Okay, so we have a very, very exciting program today, you guys, because this will be the first Zoom in question. So you'll be able to see the person that's calling in responses to how Kris and Rainey and myself are answering the question. And so we're going to actually get Cathy on the air right now. So Cathy, are you there?
I'm here.
Oh, you sound so loud and clear. This is beautiful. So before we have you ask the question, we'd like you to choose which one of us you want to have answer the question first. And before you actually choose, the reason we're doing this is we had someone that has a doctorate in psychology reach out to us over the Vegas website and say, I don't think it's a good idea for the same person to start all the time. Now, that's up to you though. If you still want Kris to do your astrology chart first, that's fine. But if you want me to do your cards first or Rainey to just tap into her intuition first, we don't care, but we want you to have the choice. So it's not always dictated by how we used to do the format. So, all right, Cathy, so who would you like to have answer your question first?
Well, I've been watching your previous shows, and I know that Kris always does, so I'm going to go with you, Mona.
Okay, all right. So now tell me your question.
Okay, I was just wondering what my financial situation is. We have 4 kids, and sometimes they need our help, and I want to make sure that we're here to help them.
Okay, so before I even turn cards over, I have a perfect thing for you to say to them, okay? The thing that you say to them when they're asking you for money, all right? I want you to say, well, honey, we're on a fixed income right now, and our cash flow is not quite so fluid. So I can't wait to hear how you figure this out.
Well,
so basically, you're telling them no, but you're not actually using the word no. You're saying, sweetheart, we're on a fixed income right now, and everything is budgeted very strictly right now because we want to make it last, and we want to have enough to give to you kids down the road. But sweetheart, the cash flow is kind of tight. So I can't wait to hear how you figure it out yourself, because I know you're smart and resourceful and can get a second job.
That makes sense.
Okay, so now I'll turn the cards over for you.
Okay, that sounds good.
So, oh, wow. So I have to tell you, you're going to be able to see these cards because you're tuned into the program. So I want you to look down at the card that's smack in the middle of your spread. You're going to see a card called the Master. Now, in my tarot deck, there's an extra card. Sorry, John reacted to this card and I had to stop for a second. It is the card of you being directly connected to spirit. So basically what you do is you say a prayer for what you want to whatever you deem spirit is for you. So I cover all bases. Dear Jesus, Mother Mary, good Lord, and I say my prayer. And then I end with, I'm grateful for your loving help. Amen. That I say that when there's something I want, or if there's somebody I'm worried about, or if I'm praying for an actual client of mine, I will actually use that prayer. The card called the Master means that when you were very young, you and spirit had a direct connection. You could talk to God. God would give you signs. You could say, hey, tell me if I'm supposed to do this. I'm going to pull a coin out of my purse, and if it's heads, yes. If it's tails, no. You used to do little things like that to connect with spirit. For whatever reason, you've stopped doing that, which is interesting because you came in this lifetime to be a spiritual leader, which is the card that's next to it called aloneness. Now, aloneness doesn't mean lonesomeness. It means that you are so at ease with yourself and the fact that you are filled with spirit, that it doesn't matter where you are. It's 11:11 right now, by the way, make a wish. It means that you are here to guide people in the light. All right. So when people see this card called aloneness, they think that the monk is actually going toward the light, when in fact, the monk is so full of light that he becomes the source of light. See, that is your karmic purpose in this lifetime, Cathy, is to actually show the light that you came in this lifetime to actually experience, and not make it about bringing harmony to other people's chaos. It's about you filling yourself up so that you give from your overflow and not from your reserves. Now, the other most amazing vibration about your cards is that you have a lot of blue and black in this spread. So blue is the healing energy. It's the compulsiveness for you to actually be there and solve the problems for the people around you. When in fact, the card that's called silence is a card that says, fill yourself up first, make you a priority first, and then act like the going with the flow card, which is the first card, act like everything's perfect the way it is. So the next time your kids ask for something that takes away from your reserves in some way, you need to find a way to tell them no, because I don't see money problems here for you. I see money bleed for you here. That you because you want to be, the best parent on the planet, and you want your kids to like you. You want to do these things to make them feel good. I'm saying that it's time for you to actually draw the line in the sand and say, well, we're at a place right now where it's a fixed income, so I can't wait to hear how you figure it out. Does that hit home with you? Does that make sense to you?
Yes, it does. However, they very rarely ask for financial help.
Okay.
I usually know that sometimes they do need it, and I want to make sure that we respond to them first before they ask us.
Okay. That's what I want you to stop.
Okay.
Because I actually think that if they say, well, gee, the air conditioning in my car is going out, and you go, well, how much do you need? Well, it's going to be $2,500. Oh, I'll give it to you. And next time they tell you that there's something going on, I just want you to listen and not compulsively offer.
Okay.
Okay. The best way for you to be appreciated is to wait until you're asked.
And I'm learning that.
So that's probably why these cards are coming up this way, because I actually think your kids are pretty damn resourceful.
Yeah.
I just don't want you to just offer to them. Okay. Because, down the road, years and years and years and years and years from now, when you pass, they're going to get it anyway. So, but don't give it to them now. Let them figure it out. That's kind of part of their plan here. So, all right.
Okay.
Now, who do you want to have answer the question next?
Let's go to Rainey.
I'm so glad, because I'm having trouble holding on to this beautiful woman who is driving me crazy. This is a great grandmother, and immediately as she came in, I was having trouble holding her because she doesn't believe in what we do, but that's okay. I love you. Come on, come forward. And then over here, Jesus stepped in and said, and mine is a little bit different impression than what Mona got. If you give them the fish, they will never learn. But if you teach them how to fish, you will feed them forever. And I immediately start an Etsy or a Shopify store. And what this beautiful woman, she seemed very, very like pioneering, very strong, working with the men, family first, just constantly work from morning to night. Her hands feel very, very rough. A lot of arthritis in the hands. I don't know if this runs in your family on your mom's side, but the hands really start to hurt, and knuckles. See, you just heard my fingers just crack. They hardly ever do. Come forward. Tell me that again. She would like you to build. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm using the wrong verbiage. Create an apron that is made out of heavy canvas, but the apron is not what you would think is an apron in the kitchen. It's an apron that has handles to gather wood that you can put in and carry that apron. It's kind of like a niche, but that you get them involved. And not only do you create an extra little income, not just for yourself, but it could be that, I hate my name sometimes, that little rainy day fund. Thanks, Mom, in heaven. I'll talk to you later.
I love your name.
Oh, my Lord. Oh, it's hard to embrace. But she's just saying that those ways, not only would it bring a little extra income, it would give you something to look forward to, and it would bring more people together, even if you're not in the same vicinity. But I think that that's kind of something that's lacking. Is this resonating with you, Cathy?
Well, yes and no. I already have a little side business that I make fabric covered note cards. And I have it on Etsy. And then I also make
Shopify. Sorry to interrupt you, but Spirit's like, change to Shopify. I don't know why, but do your due diligence. Never trust a psychic medium, but this is what I'm seeing. Always take what resonates. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Okay. So no, I've been on Etsy, and I was looking at Shopify. I see it, pop up every once in a while, and I
It's
haven't
because
done
it's
anything.
magic. I knew that.
Okay.
But do you understand about the apron is more of a wood apron that women can use to carry in wood? Does that resonate with you?
Yes. Yes. That sounds good.
And what I love about it is you guys kind of have them bring like a little potluck, and once a month you get together and you just turn these out. Someone cuts them out, someone pieces them together, someone sews them together, and it's just like this new beautiful gig. And if you were to do that, what would you call your shop that just did that?
I don't know. I'd have to give it some thought. I can't even think about right now coming up with the name.
Carry on now.
Suggestions?
Carry all now, or carry on now.
Okay, that
Yeah.
sounds good.
Tell
Yeah.
me about pearl or pearls. I keep getting the word pearl. What is pearl or pearls? How does that resonate with you?
No, I don't know. I don't know anybody by the name of Pearl. I don't wear pearls. I don't.
I think you're
wear
better with the gift of a pearl.
I
It's
just see pearl. Yeah, maybe it's a gift.
It's
Or maybe
yeah.
it's something that someone else in your family has that maybe belonged to this beautiful woman. She's very, very, she looks frail to me, but this woman is strong. Is that a fair statement? And what was her first name? I cannot get that.
Betty. That was my mother, Betty, and she did have pearls, and she is very strong. Was very strong.
This feels like there's an heirloom that should go to you. And that's all I have, my love.
Okay.
All right, Kris,
Hey,
it's all
thank
about you now. Woohoo!
Your turn.
Hello, Cathy.
Hi.
So I have your natal chart here, and I've made some notes, and a lot of them align with what Mona said. So interesting. Have you ever had your chart read before?
Long time ago, many years ago.
Okay.
And they turned out to be very much in tune with what happened.
Great. So you are a Sun Libra and a rising Libra as well. So you get a lot of Venus in your chart. So Venus rules love and money, beauty, all things related to being generous and compassionate and kind. And so you are a very, very kind person. One thing that I find, well, actually a few things that I find, but one of the things I find very interesting about your chart is you have Neptune that sits right on your ascendant. And that is a really big part of your personality. And that Neptune talks about being spiritually elevated, being intuitive, the intuitive insight. So it looks to me when I see this, it's usually someone who has been open to and or experienced the spiritual or metaphysical world from a young age. And so it's really strong in your chart. And so you do tend to get a lot of intuitive insight. Another thing that's right near your AC, and so your AC is your rising sign, and it's your exact degree of where your chart starts. So it's a very important part of your chart. You also have the sun. And the sun talks about being very outgoing and very just full of energy and a bright light, and like a bright light for a lot of people. And it sits right there on your AC. When I see this, this usually tells me you're a business owner or entrepreneur, or you're a leader of some time. A lot of people look to you for leadership. But you have that Venus there that softens it. So you have this very easygoing, very loving approach, but you're also, you're a leader, you're in control. And so when we're talking about your finances, you do have this placement that falls in your second house of income and self-worth. And it's the planet of Mars. And that tells me that you put a lot of, or you have put a lot of energy into your earning potential and amassing possessions and material assets. And so you're very energetic in that regard. You're very, you're a powerhouse when it comes to making money and managing money.
She's probably an amazing negotiator.
Oh, absolutely. With that Venus, I could imagine you're probably a natural mediator, bringing people together, very good with compromise or helping people see different points of view and bringing them together to a middle ground.
She's definitely the nucleus.
Well, and I get the idea while we're all talking here, because this is your brain trust here for the few minutes you get to have us on the air, is that I wonder if she starts her own networking group. So that whatever city you live in, you might start a networking group where your category obviously is exclusive to you, but then you bring in a real estate agent and a CPA and a family law attorney and a pest control person and a carpet cleaner. It's like you bring in all these people, but you don't do like some of these more organized networking events like LaTip, where you have to pay a certain amount per month and you have to give a certain amount of leads away every meeting. It's just a social collaborative cocktail event that maybe you do once a month, and you invite these people to that you all decide that you're making this little promise to each other that if somebody's moving into town, they need a real estate agent, you're going to refer them to Sally Smith. And if somebody needs what you do out there, that they're going to refer you, like if they need a special gift that you can put together for them, that you're the one that can do that for them. But I when you were talking, I went, oh my gosh, ultimate politician, but in a very social,
diplomatic, yes,
very easygoing. You could run for mayor where you are, and people would vote for you. That's the big thing I get.
Well, also you have this knack for knowing what your audience wants or what your customers want. Like, it is very intuitive for you. You just kind of know when it comes to putting together any kind of organizing events or putting together services for a business. You have this knack of putting it together and knowing what is going to be like the best package or the best way to put it together, knowing what your audience wants.
So, and here's the other thing, Cathy, darling, you don't want to ever be bored. So I'm going to throw something at you that is sort of a curveball on your question about money. There's a part of you that wants to always keep working. You're not somebody that's really supposed to retire because business for you is your social outlet. Business for you is how you connect with people. And so what I keep getting here is I keep getting that you're going to keep doing this until you can't do this. And it's not about the money, because the money is there. You're managing the money fine. The money seems to magically come to you when you need it. And that, because you wouldn't be, 45 years or older. Right. You wouldn't be 45 years or older if you hadn't figured it out financially. So I think that the business part of you, you're actually living your dream right now. That's what I keep getting.
I think she can expand it too, but more collaboratively.
Right. Yeah.
But I'm also getting, my darling, when Ancestry.com goes on sale, the DNA part, look for Amazon Prime. It's half off. The women in your family, especially on your mother's side, are very, very strong, but there's a story to be told, even if it's a short story. I'm just getting chills. My butterflies.
Oh yeah, you look at total goosebumps, man.
Yeah, and I think there's a little book or a blog or something to talk about this lineage. Do you pick up on something?
Yeah, so there's actually a placement, and that goes into her having that natural inclination of like what her audience wants. It also is connected to females. So females are actually very lucky for you. Collaboration, female family members. So definitely like. Could be like your spirit guides or, females who have passed. But it's strongly connected to the feminine, as females are very lucky.
Oh, and when you find out the stories of these beautiful women, what I love about how Mona reads is she tells a story. And that's what's going to spark this little spark of creation into you. And you might inspire others to go back into their lineage, because there are beautiful stories to be told. And you have a lot to be proud of in your DNA, except for John. He's an anomaly.
Oh,
I'm kidding. You're not an alien.
So now, Cathy, sometimes we want to share with you something when the program is over, like today. So please don't disconnect from your Zoom connection. When we close the program, we want to talk to you afterward. So just kind of hang in there with us, okay?
I will.
Now, we will do this from time to time with a caller, especially if you want to tell them something privately that we don't want out there, because once your reading is on WWDB TV, it's on there forever unless you tell us you don't want it on there. But hey, it's part of the fun to listen to how we actually explore your vibration, your reading, your question. And it's really interesting because I want to tap into what Rainey said about the feeling of you being sort of the ringleader or the
Nucleus.
Thank you.
Foundation.
For a community of women. It's like the people that you would probably create a quote informal networking group with would probably mostly be women. And it's because you like the feeling of being with people. You can be by yourself and be fine, but you seem to really shine when you act as the leader for a spiritual foundation. In other words, you create this safe foundation for all these women to be themselves, which I absolutely adore. So,
and what Kris said, you create and you thrive on divine feminine synergy. And you might even start doing some farmers markets with these ladies. You never know where
she
this
could
can
create
lead
her
you
own
to.
farmers market.
Exactly.
Right.
Like what Kris was saying.
Right.
You know,
Like, for example, if there's a little restaurant that doesn't open till 10 in the morning, she could go and say, could we do a little mini farmers market from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. before you open, right outside on your patio? So it could be something like that.
Yes.
But yeah, she's definitely got the mojo for that. So all right, now Cathy, don't hang up.
No, I
We're
won't.
gonna just hang in there. So, ladies, I really love that each episode gets more and more collaborative with us. I think it's just wonderful. And I'm so glad we found each other to do this.
Yeah.
You know, every day I wake up and go, oh, I have Kris and Rainey in my life. It's wonderful. It's just wonderful.
It's like, thank you, Spirit. We were aligned. It's meant to be.
That's right.
And I'm so grateful for all of you.
And you know, you guys don't know this, but the fabulous Kris is the person that contributes every month to the vegasastrology.com column. So if you haven't jumped on vegasastrology.com, you can read your monthly forecast. So basically she sends it and we usually get it to post about the day before the first of the month. But June is up. So jump on vegasastrology.com and you can read all about it. And if you want a more extended chart done by Kris, please reach out to her because her information's on the THREE.Vegas website. If you'd like to have a private session and really get into the spiritual realm with Rainey, THREE.Vegas website, her information is there. And if you'd like a reading with me, intuitive tarot consultant, I'm delighted to do that for you. My profile is also on THREE.Vegas. Now, to be on the program, you need to go to the THREE.Vegas, www.3.vegas website, and you need to submit your question through the submit your question page. And then we will, we're going to ask you your name, your phone number, your email address, your date of birth, your place of birth, and your time of birth. So you need to have the place of birth, time of birth, and date of birth. We really don't want to throw it out there so that Kris only uses 12 noon. I'm just saying. We also want to know where you currently live, because that does affect your question, especially if it has to do with career, retirement, or moving in any way at all, because she's going to be able to see what environment would be best for you. But in the meantime, we've loved having you join us yet again. Stay tuned for another episode next week, and we'll see you then.